If you're so smart, why are you broke? That question sounds like an insult, but mostly it's a bruise. You did what smart people are told to do. You learned fast, collected facts, made careful plans, and still the numbers don't look like the person you thought you'd become. It hurts to be praised for potential and punished by results. Stay with me to the end, because I'll give you one line you can carry into any messy, uncertain move so you don't freeze. And a gentle experiment you can try when you're ready. No hustle sermon, no shame. Just a kinder way to understand why this happens to so many of us who think a lot and want life to make sense. This is education, not financial advice. We aren't ignoring the part where luck, timing, class, location, caregiving, and health tilt the whole board. We're naming a quieter piece inside the board. What your brain does with uncertainty, and why being clever can accidentally keep you poor in money or in opportunity. You might know these scenes. You get an idea and your whole mind lights up. You sketch a name, a logo, a website theme, the perfect brand palette, a tagline that makes your chest warm. You feel the rush of progress and the safety of order. Then, when it's time to talk to a real person who might buy, your stomach drops. You tell yourself it needs one more feature, one more page, one more week. It's not laziness, it's relief. Planning is certainty's sugar, and your brain is starving for it. Another scene. You're great at school, so you keep going. A certificate becomes a degree, becomes a second degree. Each one brings new knowledge and that clean feeling of being on the right path. You tell yourself you're building safety. And sometimes you are. But sometimes you're buying one more year before you have to test your ideas against the world. The world does not grade on a curve. The world buys what it finds useful. Even when it's ugly, even when it's obvious, even when it's not yours yet. Here's the part almost nobody says out loud. Truly intelligent people can get addicted to the feeling of being right. You already know how to win the game of answers. Uncertainty doesn't hand out scores, so you create a game you can win, plans, decks, frameworks, polish. Your reward system fires on completion and clarity. But money and momentum tend to show up for the person who can stand in fog long enough to bump into something real. Think about what your nervous system wants when life feels risky. It wants prediction. Smart brains predict really, really well. You can see 12 moves ahead. You can map edge cases, build models, simulate failure and success in your head before lunch. The gift flips when simulation replaces contact. You end up comparing possible universes instead of getting feedback from the only one that matters. Meanwhile, someone less decorated walks into a room with a half-baked thing and a shaky voice, and leaves with a check, not because they're better, but because they touched reality before you did. If that sounds like a criticism, it isn't. It's grief. It's hard to realize you perfected the very habits that made school and early jobs applaud you, only to watch those habits slow you down when reality doesn't care how elegant your plan looked on paper. It's hard to feel your competence turn into a shield that blocks contact with the messy world you actually want to touch. In a second, I'll tell you the line I promised. First, let's name why your body hesitates when money or reputation are at stake. Uncertainty feels like danger because your brain equates unknown with threat. When you were younger, being wrong could mean humiliation or punishment. When you were older, being wrong could mean debt or a door closing. So you learned to pre-solve. Prettier plan, lower chance of pain. The math checks out emotionally, even if it doesn't pay out financially. You also live in a culture that worships credentials. That worship isn't neutral. It rewards conformity at scale, And anything that can be taught to millions can be replaced or underbid by the next million. None of that means learning is bad. Learning is a miracle. It just means that learning without contact can become a loop. Content in, gold star out, wallet unchanged. There's a person you might know. They aren't as quick as you in conversation. They stumble through the pitch. Their product is duct tape and hope. You watch them get paid and it feels unfair. It is unfair in the sense that the world rarely matches effort to reward. It is also instructive. They are tolerating the ache you avoid, the ache of not knowing, the ache of asking, the ache of failing out loud. That ache is currency. The market trades in it. And the brain that craves certainty tries to buy with something else. Perfection, pedigree, polish, because it's less painful. Quick pause to unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, and notice your breath leaving a little slower than it arrived. You don't have to fix anything in this exact moment. Maybe you're thinking, easy for some people to say, some of us have rent, kids, parents, visas, medical bills. You're right. Risk tolerance isn't a personality trait. It's also a safety net calculation. Some people jump because they know someone will catch them. Some of us build our own net from string. That matters. Inside those limits, there is still a smaller question. Are you optimizing for feeling certain or for learning faster? The second one costs more feelings. It often pays sooner. Let me tell you the thing that softened this for me. Your brain thinks certainty equals safety, but in a permissionless world where you can learn anything and try almost anything without asking, certainty is often just delay with a better story. The safer path can be the least safe once everyone is on it. If something can be taught to millions, it can be automated, outsourced, or commoditized. The moat is rarely the diploma. The moat is your relationship to the unknown. Here's the line you can carry into the fog. I can learn faster than I can plan. Say it quietly when you feel that old pull toward another month of polish. I can learn faster than I can plan. It's not a command. It's an orientation. It reminds you that contact produces data, and data calms smart brains better than another deck ever will. You might wonder what contact actually looks like when you don't want to blow up your life. It doesn't have to be a leap. It can be a tap. Talk to one real person about one tiny version of the thing you want to build. Offer the smallest sliver that could help someone today and watch what happens to their face. Do they lean in? Do they ask a question? Do they mention a friend? Those reactions are richer than anything your spreadsheet can model, and they arrive without permission slips. Another quiet truth that stings a little. Smart people often protect their identity more than their outcomes. If your identity is the clever one, then messy public attempts feel like a threat. So you work in private until it's perfect. The attempt never arrives. Someone else ships a worse version and owns the space. Not because they're smarter, but because they decided being seen trying is less scary than being unseen forever. Midway check-in. If your chest feels tight, breathe out longer than you breathe in. If your throat feels hot, imagine 1 degree of cool air. If your head feels loud, find one still object in the room and let your eyes rest on it for 3 slow breaths. You might ask, what if I fail? You will. Everyone does. The difference isn't whether you fail, but whether your nervous system treats failure as a verdict or as evidence. If it's a verdict, you go back to the only place you feel powerful, inside the plan. If it's evidence, you make a smaller mess next time, or a different mess that moves you forward. Evidence is kinder than certainty. Evidence doesn't need you to be a prophet, just present. There's a reason some very bright people quietly tell me they're tired, Tired of ideas, tired of potential, tired of being told they're special while their bank account says otherwise. Tired of watching someone with less nuance and more nerve lap them. You are not lazy. You're cautious in a world that pays the brave first and the correct later. Sometimes much later. That mismatch is painful. You can mourn it and still choose a new relationship to the unknown. If you want a tiny experiment to hold, you could try this within your real constraints. Pick something you care about and let an imperfect version touch one person this week. Don't promise. Don't brand. Don't announce. Whisper it to someone who might benefit. Notice your body. Notice the data. Put the data somewhere you can see it. If that's all you do for a month, you're learning at the speed of contact, which is faster than the speed of plans. If that feels like too much today, keep the sentence. I can learn faster than I can plan. Say it when your hand reaches for one more course, one more icon set, one more afternoon of color swatches. Not to scold yourself, to remind your very smart brain that it was built for discovery, not just defense. There's a paradox I hope lands gently. In this era, the smartest thing you can do often looks like playing dumb, not naive, just willing to look a little clumsy while you gather evidence. The permission slip is already signed by the world you live in. You don't have to wait to be chosen. You don't have to wait to be ready. Readiness arrives after the first few contacts, not before. Let's wrap this in something human. You were praised for being careful. You survived by predicting. You became excellent at avoiding pain. That excellence deserves respect, and it can retire from being the boss. The part of you that wants to build can take the wheel for an hour at a time, while the rest of you watches the road and brings snacks. You don't have to shame the planner to let the doer speak. If any of this sounded like your days, the logo that kept you safe, the degree that kept you waiting, the idea that keeps you busy but not fed, tell me one moment you recognized, not a confession, a breadcrumb. Subscribe if you want a place where smart isn't an apology and trying in public isn't a crime. When you're ready, watch perfectionism. Is the lie that steals your life, especially if you keep moving the goalposts just far enough that you never have to shoot.